I fell asleep with makeup on. And I fell asleep really late. I'm trying to do things, squeeze things into my time, so I woke up really late and I haven't even showered. And I have half an hour. I have half an hour to be over there and do my job. Oh my god. I have other things to do. I've been making hydrogen water and I have to take some of it and put it in here before it loses the hydrogen again. And now I have 20 minutes to get to be ready. I haven't showered, I haven't washed my face. I'm a disaster. I didn't even empty the bottle of the old water that was in there. So I don't know. Whatever, this has to do for today. Oh my god, this is no good to be falling asleep late at night because you're trying to get things done and suddenly, boop, suddenly it's 4 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock and you have to wake up early and then you wake up too late and oh my god. This is just me in a nutshell being a disaster. Oh well, anyway. So as you see, I'm squeezing in things even though I'm late. Okay, here we are, all ready to go. I managed. Might want to bring the key, actually. Oh my god, it is raining. Oh, for fuck's sake. So, lots of different phases in my days. And since a couple of months, it is, as I keep calling it, the beginning of the end. My work is done. I found myself in a position of I found myself in a situation where I suddenly was completely unplanned the healer. You know, one thing is to be doing some physical body work for someone who has pain, and that is in itself a healing type of job, especially when you're always doing it with love and focusing lots of all these energies. But it wasn't sort of, whatever. It just turned into, it wasn't planned, but yeah, I kind of was aware of it from the beginning, but still it wasn't planned and it wasn't agreed upon at any point. But the whole way through 1.5 years, I was just experiencing all the time how I was also a healer in another sense, that I was being here as a rare example for this person of being a real person, of being someone who is real and sincere and authentic and doesn't really hide what I think or feel, no matter how hard it sometimes is to have the guts to be able to be honest about some things. I just always find the way. I just always somehow, and so I was noticing all the time how that was coming into the picture, like something that of course makes the other person experience and observe, and some of the things causes the one then to reflect and think about it and yeah, anyway. And so on a day like today, for example, is one of those days where it isn't until just recently that I get to know that there is a word for this situation of the negative energies, and that there is some entity type of something, or that there is something that is feeding on this negative energy, that when I was mostly aware of that yeah, okay, that's possible, and that's, yeah, why not, but I was mostly aware of that when one feels any bad energy, that then you are contributing to the bad energy of the world vibrating a lot harder, a lot stronger than the good energies. So this I've been aware of for, I don't know, for what feels like forever. And for me, there has been different stages of feeling aware of this, and then, hearing things along the way in life that would just make me develop a deeper understanding, perception of it, like connecting more dots. situations, people, words, whatever different things inspire more and more aspects and components of it. And so something similar is happening here. But so now, since recently, I have learned that there is actually a word for it, that it's called loosh. So, for example, tonight is one of those classic nights where I get to observe, but it was somehow particularly also tonight, but just one of many other nights. But anyway, one of those nights where it was really in particular that I get to sit there and witness how a person is sitting there and actually doing that voluntarily themselves. So one of the ways that humans are doing it is that they they get into their egoistic thing, and then they keep thinking about, they will sit there and they will keep thinking about, for example, all the different reasons why this or that person is bad or no good, or this and that, and this doesn't fit and that doesn't fit, and this is not what I want and that's not what this is, and so on, right? And so at the same time as someone is doing that and throwing all these blames and seeing everything like totally through their ego, well, then they are obviously not making themselves feel good, Well, while some people think that if you kind of put down somebody and just start, picking out all the bad you could possibly find about someone and just like, saying that out loud or whatever, or basically making yourself look, giving yourself this illusion of that at least if for a moment you're just better than this or that other one, That's not a good feeling, actually. That's part of this indoctrination of, what can I compare it to? I guess, okay, I can at best compare it to another illusion that we're so used to that we think it makes us feel good, that we think we are in the right, is, for example, that the fact is that in countries like America and Scandinavia and Germany, and so too many countries, the amount of people, looking at the statistics, the amount of people that are actually taking antidepressives are above 70%, and in some countries it's above 80%. And yet you will still see people doing, just to use this as a simple example, because everyone knows this and everyone can relate to this. You will still see everyone, hi, how are you? Oh, and the answer is always, how good they are, and even to their best of friends. And so that in itself is so clearly, obviously, logically, that is a human disconnection. If you do that to everybody, but also to your good friends, also to those you would call your best friends, oh my God, then hello, your humanity is completely disconnected. And then there is these countries like Germany and Austria and Scandinavia also, and even my friend from she's French but grew up like half in Spain or whatever, and is spiritual even and all of that, and even she will be this type of person that if you start to express all your feelings and things, she will start this whole nonsense about how, it's all so negative and how you have to just like be positive and think positive only and say positive only. And I'm just like, man, you people, you don't even notice that this part of the spiritual world has been totally infiltrated by the fucking ones who want to feed on your loosh, You need to talk about whatever, and it needs to be just totally received and accepted and loved, and there has to be an interest in talking with you about your bad shit, because this is causing a processing. And at the same time, to be able to do this kind of talking with each other, to be so open and honest, that is the human connection. And that is a healing thing. That is what makes us strong. That is love. So when I see this, where this fucking evil shit has managed to infiltrate itself into, of course you have to be positive, but before you can feel good and produce this positive feelings, really, because it's no use to be thinking a positive thought and saying a positive thing if on the interior of you are so that you're constantly eating antidepressants. It's just like, putting a plaster over this ugly, thing you got on your skin so that nobody sees it. But it's still there. And so in this way, this is the whole ego shit. That's all of that crap is ego. And so the ego is just, it's like, yeah, we are in this farm where we have been raised and schooled and grown up with all these experiences that I call wrong experiences that basically they are hurtful to whatever degree. And so desensitizing is a thing, no? We totally accept that, and we totally do it to ourselves. We just tag along on it. And yeah, I tagged along on that until I was until I was like, 23? And then I stopped that shit. And boy, has that been challenging. Because everybody else around is like not on that same page, so that makes it pretty hard. But that is all ego. That is all fucking ego. That is all what separates us. And so we've the way that we've been raised and indoctrinated and schooled and picked up all these bad experiences that made us desensitize ourselves and each other and whatnot. This is all what is growing the ego. Because the love is very sensitive. Sensitivity is intelligence. So high sensitivity is very intelligent. All the rest is just smart and clever. AI has nothing to do with intelligence. It's just fucking smart and clever, right? All these people that are so powerful and successful and yet useless for humanity, really, actually, at the end of the day, I mean, they're fucking killing nature, whatever, they don't do anything good, really, they're just all pretending. That's not intelligence. That's smart and clever. An IQ test measures how smart and clever you are and how fresh and healthy you actually are for this smart and cleverness to be so sharp. And so that has everything to do with, that is all the ego shit and stuff. And basically, your brain is not intelligent. Your brain is computing. It is the heart that is sensitive. It is the heart that is intelligence. And funny enough, ironically enough, whatever, the ego and the love, they both reside in the heart. And so as we are growing in this world that causes our ego to grow, well, then it is taking up that energy space where we're supposed to have the love so that we can be highly sensitive. Sensitivity is intelligence. If the nature around you wouldn't be sensitive, then it wouldn't feel its environment, and then it wouldn't feel that it needs to start growing dandelions because all of you assholes got fucking bad stomachs. Or whatever. And so what I kind of want to say and inspire in us all is use this otherly awareness that all of us have. I mean, all of us, I would guess that all of us who are real humans of soul and spirit, all the good soul and spirit stuff, that we all have that. I mean, I know that some people, I guess that some people don't have it, just like some humans don't have any empathy. And so as soon as we start talking about more complex things that has to do with the human emotions and stuff, then they are just like sitting there with this paralyzed expression. They don't understand shit. Suddenly they're alienated. So I guess there is just as well, there must be, I guess, also people who don't have this otherly awareness. But those of us who have that awareness, I'd say that we are the humans, that we are the real natural humans. We are the ones with the potential, at least, for all the good stuff that we dream about, of how our world should be and whatnot. So I just want to remind and sort of put this on the table for us all to sort of bring our attention there and become much more aware of this otherly awareness that tends to be very objective, if not mainly or only objective. And so pay attention to that and shift into feeling this awareness about things and become aware how the ego is just sticking the stick in the wheelman everywhere and every other step. Like, I've been so aware of this my whole life, and so I totally know how that goes. But with some people like this one here, who should be so at ease and so of love because he's got everything and he doesn't have to work and gets a massage every day and has a chef to cook for him and whatnot. I mean, this person should just be so at ease in this life by now, to just be so lovely. And then life is so lovely, and then we're so connected, and then life is beautiful and it's meaningful, and oh my God, that is just the healing thing of all things. And you can talk about everything, and wow, life makes sense now. But so we have to notice that we all have to become we all have to practice this awareness, because it's really not difficult at all. All these things are very subtle in feeling. As most of the time, all these things are extremely subtle. So but it's actually very easy. And so it's something that once you at least for me, it's been like that once you become aware and you decide, and the more challenges that are thrown at you that put you out of your loving feeling place, the more opportunity you have to practice it. But I spent some 3 years, just, a year and a half ago, I spent 3 years being kind of stuck on living with someone very special and lovely and whatever. It's not about that, but who had a tendency to every evening, have at least 2 beers or a few glasses of wine, and then this negativity would always come. And in the beginning, I was completely objective aware of it, and it didn't affect me. But after a couple of months, it just really started getting to me, because I guess at the end of the day, I don't know, I'm just human or something. And so it started getting to me, and I was feeling like also I'm not getting anywhere in my life, so I was more sensitive, so my ego was suffering. It's another thing that we have to understand, that when something hurts us or bothers us, or we have problems or we're stuck or whatever, in whatever way, something is hurting us in any way, shape or form, then our ego, that's our ego. And then when the ego hurts, it's like when you hit yourself, it swells a bit. And when the ego is swollen a bit, then it's of course highly sensitive. Just like when you hit yourself and you try to touch that place you hit yourself, then it's so fucking sensitive, it hurts. And so that's a helpless situation. There you need the wisdom of the friends, the love and the wisdom of the friends and family or whatever you have of your environment around you to be there in the wise way for you, so that this doesn't have to stay like that, so that you can somehow feel better, even if it's just that they inspire you somehow or love you somehow, that you get a better perspective on things, that you easily get into this more objective otherly awareness that you somehow have with you. Anyway, so I spent this 3 years living with this person, and there came this time that I just got weak into this, and so I started falling into the arguments. And after some time, after some months, I started and then I was like, oh my God, Mila, how do you just fall for this all the time? You know so much better. Why don't you start practicing becoming aware every fucking day when that shit happens, and just don't fall into it. Just don't fall into it. Just, you can even have the discussion, but without, having it affect you in that bad way that it starts to turn into a really bad feeling energy, that you just become helpless, and boom, suddenly you're having an argument, and then it starts escalating. You gotta be, sad that you always have to be the bigger one in your life, that you never can just be home and relax and recuperate, that you always have to be the freaking mama of things, or the big sister of things or whatever. That's just too bad. Anyway, you don't want to be creating that energy. You don't want to be vibing that energy. You don't want to have your body creating this toxin that it does when it's under stress. So it's taking responsibility, which is empowerment, and yasta, that's it. No excuses, no self-pitiful bullshit. And so I took it on me. And now when I look back, it was amazing, this 3 years, because of course, once you become aware like that and this decision happens, then you start doing it. And as the months pass by, it's just, the time period gets shorter and shorter between the moment that you realize that, oh, now I'm in the argument. until the argument starts and you become aware of it immediately. So that's amazing. And that is a practice that I best describe it as that what works best for me is when I start thinking, go back in your heart, go back in your heart space, go back in your heart, go back in your heart. And then start viewing everything through that heart, through that love. You know, that being that loving father, that loving sister, that loving mother, that loving brother, that loving grandma, that loving best friend, that loving wise one, you know, whatever. Being all of those, having the capability to be any of those kind of thing. That's really what it is to me. And so we have to all practice that, because that is the only way that we liberate ourselves from that fucking Loosh Farm nonsense shit. Anyway, ask me any questions you want below and I will answer them. And yeah, it's nice to talk about these things. We need to talk about these things. It's good to talk about these things. I want to talk about these things. Let me know what you think about these things and what things you have experienced that made you become really conscious and aware, even if it's just because you're witnessing somebody else doing all the stupid shit. So anyway, it's nighttime here, and actually, what time is it? Oh wow, it's already 11:08. I'm always struggling with this to be in bed, ready to sleep early enough. Anyway, I'm filling up my memory. My memory is getting full again. So I don't even know how I'm gonna get this video out of the phone if there's no memory to process it. I guess I'm not gonna be editing this. Anyway, so yes, please share. Let's have this conversation. Let's get more clear on it. It's important. Good night to me and to whoever else it fits. Good morning to others. Looking forward to comments and questions in this whole conversation. Ciao for now.